I wanted to do a quick talk about the great James Earl Jones, who just passed away today, and just kind of wanted to talk about his career for a little bit. Obviously, he is the voice of Darth Vader, and he will be remembered forever as that. He lived a long life, died at age 93, September 9th, 2024. He was born in Arcabula, Mississippi. Died in Paul, Pauling, New York, which is a little bit above New York City. Has a bachelor's from the University of Michigan. And he's one of those actors that whenever he showed up in anything, I was instantly more interested in whatever it was. I mean, this is a guy that goes back, he's in Doctor Strangelove. He's in to be honest, he is in a lot of movies I have not seen, and I would like to go back and watch more of them. On his IMDb, it says his first, his first credit is a TV series called Guiding Light, and he was on As the World Turns. It's like a soap opera. Wow, that was until 2010, 1956 to 2010. That's crazy. So did a bunch of TV. His first movie is Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. And then he did a movie called The Comedians, Tarzan, The Great White Hope. He did a movie called The Man, where he played the first African American president in the United States. That sounds really interesting. I think the president's killed. Like a bunch of people are killed, and he's in the chain to become president. But obviously, I know him from Star Wars. Conan the Barbarian. It's amazing in that. As Thulsa Doom. He really brings gravitas to that role, and I love the scene when he changes into the snake, monster. Great practical effects there. I mean, you could say maybe it looks a little cheesy, but I think it's fun. But yeah, he's been in tons of stuff. I mean, from TV to movies. Hunt for Red October as Admiral Greer. Let's see here. Patriot Games. He reprises his role. Sneakers. That's right. Great movie. He's the voice of CNN. This is CNN. The Sandlot as Mr. Myrtle. Sesame Street. The Lion King as Mustafa. Again, he reprised his role in Clear and Present Danger. But just tons of good work. Stargate SG-1 as a voice. Merlin, the Mountain King, as a voice. Okay, that's the TV movie of Merlin, TV miniseries, which I'm a big fan of that. As Sam Neill as Merlin, I think it's kind of forgotten classic for me. I actually own that on DVD because that's a hard one to find. Command and Conquer Tiberian Sun. Oh, okay. It's been a while since I played that, but all right, General James Solomon. So some video game work. Scary Movie 4, narrator, click, narrator, a lot of voice work, obviously. But yeah, just tons of good work. He won the Academy. He was nominated for Best Actor for The Great White Hope, 1970, honorary award, lifetime achievement. He won that 2011. So just kind of wanted to give my respect for him. He's not actually playing Darth Vader. He's not in the suit. Does the voice. And I know the guy that was in the suit, who's also in a Stanley Kubrick movie, who's in Clockwork Orange. He's the big buff guy that like carries that old guy around. Um, and I know he was kind of angry because Lucas didn't really tell him that, and he thought he was going to be the voice of him, but it just wouldn't have worked. If you hear that guy's voice, no offense, I mean, but yeah, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have been the iconic thing that it became. So, known for his humility, he declined to have his name appear on the credits of both Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, claiming that he felt his contribution wasn't significant enough to warrant a credit. He did agree to have his name appear in the credits of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Is a United States Army veteran and former member of the 76th Ranger Regiment. Took acting lessons to control his stutter. According to Jones, when George Lucas was trying to cast the voice of Darth Vader, his immediate idea was to cast Orson Welles. However, he felt that Welles was too well known for the role, so instead he looked for an actor with a deep voice, like Orson Welles, which is how he got the role. Interesting. I could maybe see that as Orson Welles, but nah. It's just like perfect. Like the voice is just so good. And I've heard he signed contracts with Disney that they could use his voice. Probably the money now goes to his family, rightfully so. In perpetuity. And probably fill in the blanks with AI or something. Who knows? But I mean, you can tell, you know, like in Rogue One, uh, that he's his voice isn't quite the same, but it's still there, still strong. Um, I haven't seen the Coming to America 2. I know he's in that. Now I think I will watch it because it just didn't look that great to me. I'm sure he's great in it, as the senior king. Another movie he's in, Coming to America. Not in it that much, but he's great. Great father for Eddie Murphy. He just always seemed like a really nice, solid guy, and I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him on set. Because even some great actors, like they may not be that nice of people on set. You hear that sometimes about some of them, but never hear that about him. He had a stuttering problem as a child and spoke very little. Still struggles with the problem and says he has to think about what he says carefully before saying it. Impressive, since he is known widely for his voice. Yeah, wow. He was the first established celebrity to appear on the series Sesame Street, 1969. Wow, look at that. His death was announced during a live broadcast on an NBA playoff game in April 1998. The deceased was actually James Earl Ray, the convicted assassin of Martin Luther King. Well, that's messed up. His vocal performance of Darth Vader is ranked 84th on Premiere Magazine's 100 Greatest Movie Characters of All Time. Yeah, he's the first African American actor to portray the President of the United States on the film The Man, 1972. I want to watch that. I want to check that out. His parents were both African Americans. He is also said to have Native American, Choctaw, and Cherokee and Irish ancestry. His maternal great grandmother is said to be Parinthia Connolly. Oh, nice. I'm part Irish. A native of Ireland who worked as a indentured servant and who married a former slave named Bryce. Because Bryce had no surname of his own, he took his wife's name, Connolly. He appeared with Harrison Ford in 6 films: Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, and Episode 4, Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I guess, yeah, his voice, right? Okay. Yeah, that movie's a mess, but for that movie, there was a rumor that they were gonna show like Anakin. They were gonna because you hear some of their voices, like Rey does, and then she's kind of gaining power from them. I don't know why they didn't show them. I think that would have been cool, like as Force ghosts. Obviously, it wouldn't have been. I mean, it would have been Anakin. So that's interesting that his voice is in there too, and Anakin's. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I haven't watched that movie in a while. Maybe he's talking to uh whatever, the other villain. What's his name? I don't even remember. Those movies are so forgettable. Um, you know, who Ray is fighting against. Kylo. Maybe he's talking to Kylo at one point when he's like kneeling down and talking to the helmet, which I always thought was a little silly. But and I was like, how did you find the helmet? Like, how, how did you find this burnt helmet that was burned in a random part of Endor, right? Like, and then buried. But how do you find it? What does Luke tell you? These movies make no sense. But other than the Disney Star Wars stuff, it's all good. Uh, Although the scene with him at the end of Rogue One, I like Rogue One. That's the one movie I like. So sure, that's good. The end of it with him as Vader, great scene, makes the movie worth it in my opinion. Like the last 10 minutes are awesome. Darth Vader served in the United States Army as a lieutenant during the Korean War after graduating from college. Never retired from acting. Son of prize fighter turned actor Robert Earl Jones, for whom he was allegedly estranged long into adulthood. Yet they starred together in a well-received stage revival of John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men as Lenny Small and Crooks. Respectively, Kevin Conway also starred in the play as George Milton. On October 8th, 2022, he appeared along with Theo Lyon from PBS's Between the Lions before the House Education Reform Subcommittee. Okay. Grew up in a small town in Dublin, Michigan. Huh. Well, I guess he moved from the South to there. Hates baseball despite noted roles in the Bingo, Long, Traveling, All Star, and the Motor Knights. Field of Dreams. That's right, Field of Dreams. He's great in that. The Sandlot, as well as performing the national anthem at the 1993 MLB All Star Game. But not a fan of baseball, apparently. He won 2 Tony Awards. He has appeared in 8 films that have been selected for the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. And that is Dr. Strangelove, King, a film recorded, Montgomery to Memphis, 1969, Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 6, Matawan, 1987, Field of Dreams, and The Lion King. Although he played Dorian Harwood's son in Roots, The Next Generation, he is more than 19 years his senior in real life. Huh. Um, his first time acting was at the Ramsdale Theater in Manistee, Michigan. So, is a member of the National Rifle Association of America, the NRA. Interesting. James Earl Jones appeared in Coming to America, in which Samuel L. Jackson had a cameo. They would both appear in Star Wars film series. In addition, Samuel L. Jackson would star in The Great White Hype, 1996, which was a spoof of The Great White Hope, starring James Earl Jones. Auditioned for the role of Tom Robinson in To Kill a Mockingbird. The role went to Brock Peters, who would later also play Darth Vader in the Star Wars radio plays. Well, that's that's interesting. For a long time, he had never met David Prowse, played the physical body of Darth Vader. It was later revealed that the two had finally met, though privately, in 2012. That's cool. Yeah, because I know Prowse was really angry at Lucas, and they just had a huge beef in the end. And Prowse died in 2020. So, but respect to David Prowse too. Um, but yeah, I mean, both of them made Vader. He's the physical, and then he's the great booming voice that you hear. I just remember when I was a kid, watching A New Hope, or Star Wars as it used to be called. Um, and just instantly when you hear Vader's voice, and especially the scene when he walks in and he's like choking that guy out, and then he's like, what does he say? He's like, if this is a diplomatic mission, he's like, then where are the diplomats? And he just knows that they're secretly transporting messages to the rebellion. I just remember as a kid thinking, like, it's like, oh, who's this? This is interesting. It's like, wow. like just it's just totally, different. Like the first time you watch that movie, you're just blown away. And his voice is just, incredible. And one of the other trivia's, is a Republican. Okay, interesting. And this is the trivia from IMDb, so I'm just going through it. Auditioned for the role of Bart in Blazing Saddles, 1974, but the role went to Cleavon Little. recipient of Harvard University Peter J. Holmes Humanitarian Award. He was considered for the title character of the Iron Giant, the voice. But that's Vin Diesel, though, right? But yeah, I mean that's kind of it. I just kind of wanted to, you know, go through a little. Um, he's in a pretty not a massive role in Doctor Strangelove, but he's in the bomber with the other guys. Some nice scenes. So if you haven't seen Doctor Strangelove, I'd high. I mean, besides him, that movie's just amazing too. Pretty much every minute of that movie is just incredible. But I'm definitely gonna go back and check out some of his movies, like The Man. I want to see that. That sounds interesting. Let's see. I'll read the synopsis. African American Senator Douglas Dillman becomes designated survivor of a tragic accident that kills the U.S. president. Eventually, Dillman becomes the first black U.S. president and attempts to the end the bigotry standing in his way. It's directed by Joseph Sargent. Oh, screenplay by Rod Serling. Oh wow, of the Twilight Zone. He wrote the screenplay to that. That's cool. Let's see what else this director did. I don't think I've seen any of this. Space. Oh, he did Jaws the Revenge. Oh, no way. Nice. But yeah, The Man, Sunshine, the Marcus Nelson murders, White Lightning, he did Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. Oh wow. That's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen that, although James Earl Jones isn't in that, but that's an amazing movie. Skip the remake. The remake sucks. No offense to John Travolta who's in that, but it's not good. Coast to Coast, Freedom. This guy directed lots of stuff, but I love the Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of his movies. Um, So his military service with the war intensifying in Korea, Jones expected to be deployed as soon as he received his commission as a second lieutenant. While he waited for his orders, he worked on the stage crew and acted at the theater in Michigan. Jones was commissioned in mid 1953 after the Korean War ended and reported to Fort Benning to attend the infantry officers basic course. He attended Ranger School and received his Ranger tab. Jones was assigned to headquarters and headquarters company 38th Regimental Combat Team. He was initially to report to Fort Leonard Wood, but his unit was instead sent to establish a cold weather training command at the former Camp Hale near Leadville, Colorado. His battalion became a training unit in the rugged terrain of the Rocky Mountains. Jones was promoted to first lieutenant prior to his discharge. Jones moved to New York, where he studied at the American Theater Wing and worked as a janitor to support himself. So, yeah, respect. I didn't know that. So he's a veteran, served in the Korean War. There's a picture of him with George H.W. Bush and the First Lady, Barbara Bush. I'm trying to see, did he get like an award from them? It looks like he's getting an award. Jones also performed voice work for The Simpsons in 1990, Tree House of Terror, Halloween Special, and in 2 other episodes. In 2002, Jones received the Kennedy Center honors at the John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, tons of different awards. In 2009, for his work on film and television, Jones was presented with the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award by Forrest Whitaker. But yeah, check out his Wikipedia. There's a lot of stuff on this. So he died age 93. In his statement, CNN said that Jones was the voice of CNN and our brand for many decades, uniquely convincing through speech, instant authority, grace, and decorum. That remarkable voice is just one of many things the world will miss about James. Jones' alma mater, the University of Michigan, paid tribute to him by posting a We Are Michigan video narrated by Jones on X. Numerous members of the entertainment industry paid tribute to Jones, including Mark Hamill, Danny DeVito, William Shatner, just a lot of them. Kathleen Kennedy, George Lucas, Bob Iger. So, but I think that's about it. Just kind of wanted to, give my respect and just kind of, talk about him for a little bit. Great actor, great voice acting, veteran, and seems like an all around great guy. So, cheers to you, Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. You will be missed. And that's about it. See you next time.